What do a millennial and a pastor from Gen X have in common? Not much, but they love the Lord and they love life. Join us as Justin and Sam look at the lighter side of Bible, church, and life with Making Light of It.
Welcome back to another episode of Making Light of It. I'm Sam.
I'm Justin.
And we are on episode number...
20.
Minty?
20. So think of like venti.
Yeah.
Okay, similar, not the same. Not the same. Don't go around saying venti for 20.
Vente.
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 With an E at the
It sounds like you're saying VNETA.
That's close to how it's spelled. It's VEINTE. Vente.
Vente.
Yeah.
Vente.
It's totally opposite or different than what we've been used to the past 9 episodes.
Yeah, I finally got a rhythm going.
Yeah, 10.
And speaking of which, I have received some less than encouraging words on my Espanol from some of our listeners. So thank you.
Shout out
I think
to them.
They are sympathizing with me and my inability to speak the Espanol.
They must love you.
So we're all out of there. So looking at our desk, it's getting more and more cluttered as we go through.
Yeah.
And you have a stuffy.
I do. I got
here.
a stuffy from the famous Bob Evans.
The famous Bob Evans.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if I call it famous, but it is a restaurant that people know about.
Their bacon is amazing.
Their bacon is.
You get the I forget what they call it, but the syrupy bacon. They basically candied bacon.
They probably call it syrup bacon.
So good.
So
it's so good you can't remember the name of it. It's just give me that bacon.
That's how good. Because that's what they say about all great things in life.
Yeah.
They say if you forget about it, it must be awesome.
Be awesome. That's right.
Exactly how they work things out.
I'll let you in on a little secret, but I've never been to Bob Evans.
Never been to Bob Evans.
Come on the next summer missions retreat.
I have
make sure we
been to Bob Evans. I have not sought out the opportunity to go to a Bob Evans.
I can't say I've done the same. I've never really sought out the opportunity. It arose. It was there. It just presented itself. And so I've I've never been. Heard they're hyping it up. The people that I'm around, they're like the biscuits and this and that. Okay, we'll go. And it wasn't average. It was better than what I anticipated. So
all I heard out of that conversation is you need better people to surround yourself with. If they're like, yo, you got to get yourself to some Bob Evans. It's
to be
like
fair.
It's like Denny's, but classy.
Difference.
It's Maryland people.
Yeah.
I'm not going to dog Maryland people. I think we might have some Maryland listeners. I'm not going to be the one to shut them down for their love of Bob.
He's a donkey, though.
He's a donkey, which has no correlation to Bob Evans, except for
his name is Short Stack.
Maybe you are a donkey if you go there.
Possibly.
I won't expound on that one anymore. And what's his name?
Short Stack.
Short Stack, which is significant because
that's what my nickname is, Short Stack.
And how did you get your nickname? Let's go all the way back to this. So many of the teens know that his nickname is Short Stack. That's what they call him. In fact, they've even shortened it to Stack.
Yeah.
We used to have a couple Justins. When Justin came on serving, while I was a youth leader, we had a Justin Youth that was there before him. So we called, so Justin took on the nickname of Short Stack, which got shortened to Stack. And why do you have the nickname Short Stack?
Well, to put it bluntly, I'm short, and, I guess if you want to expound on that, I'm as, sweet as a stack of pancakes. I don't know. I'm short. That's the moral of the essence of the name.
Does it come down to, don't you have an email address, Short Stack?
I do, yes.
Yeah.
The name was originally brought up in my life when I was a car salesman.
Okay.
And so everybody had a name. Like, my buddy Shepard was Big Country. It was a country guy. So, everybody had a name. Mm-hmm. Mikey was the Heat Miser because he had hair that looked like the Heat Miser. So I was Short Stack. That's what they gave me. And so I rode with that for a while. Got the email for fantasy football purposes, and that's where my Gmail came from. And then, kind of sat with it. And then when the opportunity arose here at the, with the youth group and the teens, I'm like, hey, you can call me Short Stack. That's if you get it confused. If you, 2 Justins is too much. Short Stack it is, and they loved it. They embraced it.
When the opportunity arose, he said.
It's like, okay, I can utilize this portion of my life.
Everyone else got cool nicknames. You got stuck with Short Stack.
But I've learned to embrace my shortness through the years.
Okay,
and
yeah.
Just, kind of wear it as a, badge of honor or something like that.
I mean, what can you do? Fight it every day? There's only so much you can actually do.
Yeah, it's
in that
to
process.
the point where short jokes kind of like go in one ear out the other at this point.
They probably are over your head anyways.
I'm not entertaining.
On the flip side, let me turn my phone off. I checked you guys to make sure you turn the sound off.
And we
And
didn't check
I didn't
you.
do it myself. Do as I say, not as I do.
Listen, we're really good enough friends if we didn't check you. So I guess we got to check ourselves.
That's exactly it. So, speaking of short things, actually, our conversation today has nothing to do with things that are short. It actually has to do with things that stand out above and beyond. And I know what you're thinking. Is it about me? No, it's not. It's about lighthouses. What do you know about lighthouses?
Dude, I know I have a lighthouse on my arm.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, I have
You
my-
do.
I
You
have
do.
my
Yeah, it
lighthouse.
says light through every storm.
Yep. And so I'm sure we'll get into that in a few moments. But lighthouses, man, they're tall. They're usually right there on I don't know the proper geographic terminology is, but like on the bank of the shore, and they're shining out so that boats can at least know where land is to find where they're gonna dock at and all that. So yeah, they're pretty significant. I don't know how much they use. I'm sure they still use them nowadays, but they were very significant. At least when I was a kid, my grandmother loved lighthouses, like
touring them,
throughout
looking at
the
them.
house.
So is that why the tattoo of the
So
lighthouse?
that's where the tattoo of the lighthouse comes from. Yeah, I've got my parents' initials in there, but my grandparents are here, and then it kind of intertwines with my forearm.
The whole thing going on there. Yeah, lighthouses anymore, there's very few that are actually functioning for the exact purpose that lighthouses do. Most of them right now are like locations to visit. Like people are visiting them, checking them out because they are fascinating.
Shout out to East Point Lighthouse. That's one of my favorite places to kind of go.
We do have quite a few near us. I mean, I was looking up lighthouses near us. We're in South Jersey, for those that may or may not know. And it is a common thing for people to come here in South Jersey and take tours of lighthouses. I do also know that the more further to New England you get, especially in like Maine and Rhode Island, Connecticut, they have like some great lighthouse tours up there. Yeah. But the goal today is to kind of look at lighthouses and look at the different perspectives on our Christian walk and how that can pertain to lighthouses or the correlation of a lighthouse in our life. So I gave you, I don't know if they're all in order. I'm trying to look at the list that I have sitting here.
I got an order here.
Let's start with, can you switch over? You got them marked up. Go to the 2 Timothy one.
2 Timothy?
Because that's what I want to kind of start with. So while you're going at that, like we all know, lighthouses back in the day were built on the end of the shoreline, peninsulas, anything that jutted out farther than most everything else. And most of them had circular lights. Back in the time, it might have been a flame or something like that with a reflective thing out there. And the ultimate goal was to let the ships know, hey, here is land. Yep. Now, in the midst of a storm, and they need to find safety, here is land. Yeah. In the darkness, and they're trying to navigate through, here is land. Yeah. Be careful. Don't come near. Don't come over to this spot. So lighthouses played a huge significant role back in early navigation days, finding points. There's even some, you go into it, some lighthouses had their own signal flares, so their own lighting pattern. So even as they're coming up and down the coast, they could see, okay, this pattern, it signifies I'm at this location and I have, I'm going next further out. So lighthouses were very much used for navigational purposes, literally a light in the storm for either safety or to stay away. So 2 Timothy 1:13.
1:13. It says, "Follow the pattern of the sound words that you have heard from me in the faith and love that are in Christ Jesus."
So I'm using this imagery as a lighthouse as a fixture, something that establishes this is a point that is not movable. There's an illustration out there with a ship. There's a ship looking out into the dark night, and he sees off in the distance another ship. So he says, all right, signal to that ship, tell them to alter their course 10 degrees. And so he calls out to the alter your course 10 degrees. And again, the reply from the other ship, where he's supposed, says, no, you alter your course 10 degrees. And now the captain is just like living. He's like, don't you know who I am? And he says, look, alter your course. I'm the captain. I'm the high-ranking one. You alter your course. Again, it comes back from this ship, supposed ship. He said, no, you alter your course. And the captain's finally done. He said, you alter. I'm a battleship. I'm bigger. I'm badder than you. And then the simple reply is, you alter. I'm a lighthouse. And so it's that whole concept. It doesn't matter how big and how blown up we are or what we think is got it. The lighthouse is a solid fixture. Yeah. And 2 Timothy says to follow the pattern of the sound words you have heard from me. Yeah. And Timothy is chasing after Christ. that's the solid foundation, that solid point, that immovable point that we can always reference. Doesn't matter where we are in the seas of our life, what direction we're heading, where we're going. Yeah. That is always going to be the fixture. And I just like the term of phrase there: follow the pattern of sound words.
Sound words.
And that's exactly what it is. It's knowing that there's this perfect thing out there. Now we get a little bit more, I think, with the next scripture. The first one I gave you, Psalm 27:1, gets to be a little bit more literal in the light analogy.
Yeah, this probably many have probably already heard as well too. Might be familiar with it. Psalm 27 verse 1. It says, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid?"
Yeah, I love that. So the other thing too, when you think about lighthouses, is they're most often than not, you got to get on some rocks to get to the lighthouse.
There's some terrain there.
Foundation, they are locked into the firm foundation, to the rock. And so there's this element of like strength, and the lighthouses we have around us are old.
They're old, man. They've been there for,
we're talking centuries.
Oh yeah.
Like a lot of lighthouses you go up and down the coast, they're centuries old. They're locked in. They're built. They're solid. They're fortified.
And even nowadays, a lot of lighthouses, or people who own are either not like fighting or like working hard to keep that alive, like to keep that place, at least for people to go and visit and see.
Yeah, anymore now. They're just great attractions. They're beautiful things for everyone to see. So
I like in there though how, real quick, how you have fear and be afraid being contrasted with being confident. Like we can be confident that in these sound words that whatever terrain whatever we're going through in our storms and the rough waters and the deep and all that, like we can go back to the fixture. We have the fixture there. We can know that the fixture, and it's solid, and it's gonna be there. So yeah,
my fortress protecting me from danger. Yeah. Why should I tremble?
I can be afraid. There may be fear, but I know I have that. So that rounds me back in. That reels me back in. My stronghold, my salvation.
Yeah, I mean, in God's word, you think Jesus, the whole time Jesus was speaking, it was all about, like, if you look and you kind of think about Jesus as a light when he was speaking, and as a lighthouse, like he's guiding, directing, he's solidifying his position. I mean, there's just guidance, there's refuge, there's salvation. It's all of it pinpoints on, it all hinges on him. Like the whole of Scriptures builds up to the Old Testament, builds up to him. The New Testament just wraps up around him. Yep. Everything is guiding to this ultimate light that is Jesus.
That's an amazing thing too, that I think many people might not even realize, is that as you read through the Old Testament, Jesus is in there. Like that through. Light is there. It's in Bible college was one of the most fascinating things when I was in there. It was like, they specifically had you read this passage from the New Testament. Okay, you're going to contrast it with the Old Testament. How does that jive together? How do you see Jesus in the Old Testament and in the New Testament? And it's just you see it all over the Bible if you're looking.
Yeah, my wife does the Bible recap. I think it's Tara Lee Cobble who goes through the Bible throughout the year. She does an excellent job of making God points and Jesus points all throughout the Old Scripture. She's like, okay, this is what we're reading today. Where do we see Jesus in this moment? Where do we see Jesus in that? And I actually love that element, being able to walk through that. So again, another literal light. I want you to go to Exodus. Speaking of Old Testament reflections. Exodus 13.
13. We got two verses here, 21 and 22. And it reads, "And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of cloud to lead them along the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, that they might travel by day and by night. The pillar of cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night did not depart from before the people."
Right. So literally he was
he was a pillar of fire, like probably the brightest fire you'd ever see. And he's there specifically guiding them.
I have no idea what that would look like and how fascinating that would be.
You see the pictures, you see like at the tabernacle. It can't compare, but even that looks awesome. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, if that looks awesome, I can guarantee you the real thing looks even awesomer.
Yeah, it is highly impressive. I can't fathom, like, you think God in himself, like, what would he do? Like, what kind of pillar of smoke would he be? What kind of thing of fire would he be? And it was just a smidgen of who he was. Yep. And then in the midst of it, we don't have to dive into it. The Israelites would still go off and find Baal and all that jazz, whatever. I can't believe these guys. Yeah. John 8. So now we're going into the New Testament, going to Jesus. Again, another literal lighthouse example. that he has. John 8:12.
John 8:12, and it says, "Again Jesus spoke to them, saying, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." The light of life.
So let's look at it this way. Hurricanes, storms, nasty sea storms, utter darkness out there. And through all that, the ship still sees the lighthouse.
Yeah.
You can still see that light off in the distance. It doesn't mean the seas are smoother. It doesn't mean that the difficulties aren't there.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean the storm's going to go away. It just means we have an anchor point, something to look to, something to lock in on, so we know where we are and where we're going.
Yep.
And this picture of Jesus, like I love, because there's the other verse, we're like a city on a hill, or who has a candle and covers it up.
Yep.
Like if you've ever seen a city on a hill, like I just took a vacation down to the Smoky Mountains, and we're up high, and at night just looking out and seeing random lights and houses from miles and miles and miles away. Can't see it during the daytime, but at night you just see, oh wow, it could really see that distance out there.
Yeah.
Because the light travels so far.
Yeah,
and that's the thing about Christ. He says, look, I'm the light of the world. Like I am the light. Like you're gonna see, like look for me, you're gonna see me, you're gonna find me, I'm gonna be there for you. Yep. I'm gonna get you through this difficult time. And I can't explain it. And it's hard for me. I have people come to me and say, how? And I say, I cannot explain it except to say, redirect your prayers, focus on Christ, dive into the scriptures, and the Holy Spirit will just guide you to it.
Just hit on it. Yeah. Like you're not going to find the lighthouse without looking for the lighthouse, right? If you now, I'm sure you'll see it at, that's probably terrible a way of explaining it, but you got to be looking for it regardless. Jesus says, whoever follows me, specifically whoever follows me. It doesn't say it's just going to happen. Whoever follows me will not walk in the dark. Well, what does that look like? Just like you said, diving into the scriptures, learning who Jesus is, his character, following his example. Well, where do you find his example? In the scriptures.
Yeah, I mean, just to go back to the analogy, it's if you're out at sea and you're trying to find the lighthouse, you're going to find the lighthouse. You're going to look for it, and you're going to be there. Now, the other illustration to look at it is every lighthouse, you mentioned a little bit earlier, there's some upkeep to it.
Yeah.
And even then, there were people who had to work the lighthouses. In the midst of all these storms, someone had to go up and take care of it. There. Now, we are called light. Like, we are to reflect. And Jesus says, like, we are the light of the world. He says, I'm the light. You're reflecting that light. Yeah. So, again, we're like our own little lighthouses going around in this dark, dark world, should be reflecting Jesus Christ through that process. Now, I don't know about you. Occasionally, I don't reflect the light as properly as I should.
I can't say I'm on a hot streak. You know what I mean? I'm not always on a hot streak. There's good days and bad days. This is
where we expect the amen comments to start coming through on our post. But yeah, that's kind of the concept. I think Lighthouse is an easy correlation to Christ, especially if you have any concept. Now, I grew up in the Midwest. Lighthouses were foreign.
Yeah.
I had no idea, never. But I have been down to, I think, is there a lighthouse in Cape May?
Yeah, there's a Cape May lighthouse.
Yeah, so I think I've been to the Cape May Lighthouse. Maybe another one down that way.
You know what's even funny is that they vary in size.
They're all
not
different.
Every lighthouse is the biggest one. Like East Point it looks like a house.
Well, to be fair, not everyone can be the biggest one. One is going to be the biggest one.
Isn't that like the truth?
That is exactly the truth.
Wow.
They can't all be. Now, you also have like this stereotypical on your tattoo is the white in red wrapping around like the whole thing.
Yep.
Which most actually you don't see in a whole lot of them, but you do see that common color, the red and white. The red and white is a very common theme throughout.
My grandmother's she always had the red and white. There was very few like the black and white. That's another common one. But she was a big fan of the red and white.
Red and white. Well, that explains why you get it there.
Meaning all behind it.
So, Mayor Rob, you want to go take pictures of lighthouses now? I know that's something you like to do. Take pictures.
Going to be going to the Carolinas next week, so going to be looking at a few.
You're going to the Carolinas to look at lighthouses?
You're going to look at it?
All right, well, don't feel like I'm missing out on anything in Mayor Rob's travels.
We're going to have to show him the real world.
Yeah, we're going to head on down and look at some lighthouses. And we got them here, right? I can head on down there and Poor Mayor Rob. We're just busting.
We love you, guy.
Yeah, we do. We do. Make sure you post those pictures.
Yeah, we want to see the
Actually, Mayor
pictures
Rob
that-
is a really good photographer.
He is a
so
phenomenal
you should be able to
photographer.
get some pretty solid
Yeah.
pictures there of lighthouses. And as you're doing it, the whole time you think, "Am I being the light that's reflecting Jesus right now?"
right. That's
so
right.
let it be a
Let it
lesson
be a
to you.
Devo time for you as much as you're enjoying
That's exactly
it, you
what
know?
I'm saying on that.
See that? See how we turned that there for you?
Yeah.
We love you, guys.
So we're on episode Venti, apparently, is what I learned. Venite, 20, as we say.
20.
And it leads us to a brand new game we're going to play.
Ooh.
It is called 20 Questions. Now, everyone I know who's listening to this, who is at least my age, is somewhat familiar with it, but I'll kind of break it down a little bit. 20 Questions is simply this. I have thought of a individual from the scriptures, and Justin has 20 yes or no questions to try to identify who this person is. Now, this is incredibly intimidating because in the normal circumstance, maybe we might be able to do it, but under the pressure here,
it's
I
like
tend to
rapid
forget
fire
far
and-
more than I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can't spend forever on our questions. You kind of got to blitz through them. We don't want to drag this out. Now, the one thing we have eliminated to kind of add to the difficulty is we've taken away the question, is it an Old or New Testament person?
Yeah.
So we've eliminated that question. So you just kind of have to narrow it down through circumstances, through arrangements. Now, I have my people. Do you have your people in mind? Would you like me to go first? You said you've never officially played 20 questions. I'll go first so you kind of know how it goes. And we are going in we're going to play at golf score. So lowest score wins. And if you take a guess and it's incorrect, not only does it count as a question, but it's going to add 5 points to your total score.
Okay.
For instance, I'm like, is it Adam? And you say no. That's one question plus 5. That's total of 6 points against me. So that's how it's going to work out on that.
You keeping score?
I'm going to keep scoring this. I know Mayor Rob's over there.
I'm
He'll
terrible.
keep
That's
scoring
one
that.
thing with games. I do not.
It's really
do well
easy
with
for me
keeping
to just click,
You're
click,
good
click,
with
click,
numbers,
click.
so
we'll
it
play
just
that.
makes
Okay.
sense.
So I'm going to go right on ahead, and I encourage you guys, if you're sitting and you're watching this on Facebook, you're watching on, I guess they're not watching on Facebook. It'd be on YouTube if they're watching it. 'Cause
yeah.
We don't run it on
Yeah,
Facebook.
not
If you're watching on YouTube, comment along. Comment as soon as you get it. Tell
Yeah.
us how far into the questions you got it. Let's see if anyone can get it quicker
Timestamp it.
than I can. Now, no, this isn't a live recording, so if you put something down there, it's not going to be able to cheat on that. We both have computers in front of us, but this is not. That is not what these are for.
Nope.
This is for right now. I'm just looking at pretty lighthouses. Lighthouses in North Carolina that Robert's going to take pictures of it for us. All right, my first question to you: is it a male or a female? Or excuse me, is your person male?
Yes.
Okay. So there we go. I got that figured out. Is your person a significant father?
Semi.
Yes or no?
No.
I'm going to say no. Yeah, that's kind of all right. Was this person a part of a large family?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. I'm taking notes as we go along here. I think you're discovering this person just as I am.
You gotta think about it. Like, wait, I just want to make sure I'm right because in technicalities.
Did this man make any significant moves in his life?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did this man make multiple significant moves in his life?
I would say so. Yeah.
Did this man go to jail?
Not that I recall. No.
Okay, that is going to change my path, my line of thinking. Was this man a judge?
No.
Not a judge. Was this man a king?
No.
We got to write down the questions. He was not a king. Mayor Rob, you getting anywhere close on this one? All right. Was this man, do we know this man's wife? Not significantly?
No.
Okay, I can see that. All right, so we don't really know. It's not significant enough. Wasn't a judge, wasn't a king. Was this man a prophet?
No.
No. Is this man from the Bible? Was this man a
I
disciple?
want to say I'm 100% accurate on that. At the end, we'll find out. I could, but I'm almost positive he's not. Without having it in front of me, that's how you know. The screen shows me how to say 20 in Spanish.
Gotcha. Okay.
But we're gonna go with no.
Got it. Was there a book of the Bible named after this man?
Not named after him. No.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Was this man? Did this man? Okay, I really have to stop and think through here.
Yeah, it's tougher. I mean, even if I didn't,
It is
know
tough.
who
I
it
know,
was,
'cause
I'm like, who is it?
We're probably going obscure on these things.
Could be it. Yeah, I'm not gonna give you.
No,
anything.
don't give me any
no.
more hints. I don't need any hints. I'm halfway through it. I have 10 questions down. I figured out he's a man, he's a significant man in the scriptures. He was not in prison. He's not a judge, not a king, not a prophet. So that really narrows it down through all these things. Did he win any significant battles?
Gonna go with yes.
Okay. All right. So he is a warrior of some sort. Excellent. Does he have any distinctive physical characteristics?
No.
No. Okay. That does not help me out at all. Let me see. Was he...
There's a lot of people in the Bible,
There's a lot of people in the Bible. I know. I'm 12 questions
and
into
narrowing
it.
it down to man just doesn't.
No. Not in the not in the slightest. Not at all. It really drives it crazy. I know people at home are like, ask him this, ask him this, ask him that.
If you got a better question, throw it in the comments.
Yeah,
too.
throw it in the comments because it'll be too late for me, but
Yep.
maybe it'll help you out as we're going through this. Not a judge, not a king, not a prophet. He was a warrior. He did fight in the battle. Was he one of King David's mighty men?
No.
That was quick there. He was not one of David's guys. All right. So now I'm going through my head. Significant people in battle. Did we talk about him recently in another podcast?
I want to say no. No.
Okay.
No. Yeah. No.
Okay. Because
I'm thinking about it. And I kind of do want to go back to the prophet question.
okay.
I feel like in my head, I don't
Clarifying
but
now.
I feel like he could be. So I would say be on the fence on that one. Because I feel like in technicality, he probably would be considered a prophet. I just, without the list in front, there's quite a bit of them.
There is
Don't
quite.
fire me.
There's quite a bit of. Was he involved in any building projects?
Technically, yes.
Technically, yes. Oh, shoot. I am running. Okay, so I'm now 15 questions in, and I am not much closer than when I started with, is he a man question.
Yikes.
Technically, yes. So I don't want to start rattling off names here because the score is already getting pretty high.
Are you at 20 questions yet?
At 15. I just said I'm at 15,
did I?
right? Didn't I
sorry.
just say I'm at
I
15?
w-
You're trying too
Every
hard to
now
think
and then
about
I
this
go
guy.
back into thought.
Yeah. You're good.
Just like, am I right about this? Am I right? Do I have my guy on right?
It was Jesus the whole time. He's kind of a prophet. He won the battle against Satan. And okay, so now I'm going through, thinking through battles, maybe a prophet.
And can I give a little clarification on some of
Okay,
your questions?
I'd be happy to take some clarification.
Battle-wise, I wouldn't say it's necessarily a war battle.
Okay,
Okay, so I wouldn't but battle might be too heavy of a word for it.
gotcha.
But it's definitely something significant that took place that some would consider a victory.
Gotcha. Not a war battle. Okay, that did not help me much more at all.
I tried there too. I felt like that was significant.
That
Could be,
I know.
And okay, so building project.
Okay.
Okay, not necessarily as grand as you may think.
Okay.
Think mobile.
I know you're trying to help me.
Think mobile.
I am
Mobile home.
so far off of these things.
Church on the go.
Okay. That's honestly the implications, but I'm still trying to go through. Oh my goodness. Okay.
I'm scared for my turn, to be honest with you.
I know it's terrifying.
You have better patience than me because I would have rattled off just like 5 different names already. It's been like, is it that guy? Well, is it this one or is it that
no.
one?
So
you got better patience.
That's where
than
the
I do.
line of questioning goes in. Like I can
Yeah, because
eliminate
you
through
can-
one question as opposed to trying to guess, is it this guy? Is it that guy? So
no.
I've already eliminated,
You're smart.
like Joseph and and any of the New Testament guys who've been in prison. So I eliminated all those guys with that question.
Very cool.
Was he a judge? That eliminates a whole book and all these warriors like Samson, Gideon. You name all those guys. Just eliminated there. King, eliminated king. So it's not Solomon. It's not David. So I'm going through those kind of things. Prophet, you said. So that kind of when you said not a prophet,
I can't
really
wait till you find out, and then I can get like
we can find out exactly.
Okay, I got
Who it is.
either I got it right or now I know.
All right, and coming in on question number 16, was his brother more significant than he was?
Yeah,
Yes. All right,
a little bit. Yeah,
a little bit. Did he have a problem staying faithful to God when his brother wasn't around?
yeah.
Is he Aaron, Moses' brother?
No.
Oh, that's 5. I'm adding 5 on that one. Okay, I have 2 more questions. Wow, really thinking through this. Don't you want to name? Are you having a problem? No, you're trying to think it through.
No.
I have 3 more.
Just think about it again. That's
3
all.
more questions. I'm thinking
Do
through
you
this.
want to do those questions, or do you want me to kind of like just say something?
No, because
that might get
listen,
you thinking.
I have 3. Well, you can say something you want to get me thinking.
Just say it again. Just
Say
reverse.
Aaron. I said Aaron and Moses.
Reverse.
Warrior, battle, prophet. Are you really? Is it Moses?
Yeah.
Is it really? I'm going through this. Judge, king, prophet, war. The
So
battles.
is he considered a prophet? I mean,
No,
I
he's
mean,
considered a forefather.
okay.
like
that's,
Abraham.
That's
is
why
not
I was
necessarily
so like,
considered
because
a
he's
prophet.
close. I
I
feel
wouldn't
like he's
classify
close,
him
but
as a prophet. I wouldn't classify him
struggled
as
with
winning wars or battles or anything like that because he didn't.
But the
get
victory.
any.
So that's why I clarified, because he did get a victory with the Exodus and guiding them out of Israel.
Yeah.
The Pharaoh and his team kind
If I said,
of died there.
Did I use the word term war or battle?
You used battle, right?
Yeah, I probably would have said.
I think
no on
you
that
might
one.
have said like war or something, but yeah. So yeah, I probably should
Yeah.
have said no in the beginning, but then that's what led me to clarify like what the severity of it was. I'm
Gotcha.
bad at this game, I think.
Well, wait till you have to start guessing. So
I'm not looking forward to it.
no, don't worry. One of them I have is not too bad. So I had 17 questions before you really helped me out on that one. So I'm marking down 15 as kind of like the help point. I have no idea how this plays out over the airwaves,
Yikes.
but it's very intimidating here.
Somebody threw their phone. already.
22 is my point total for 20 questions.
Wow. Hey, I think you going first helped me out a lot.
Okay,
so.
but so it gave you guidance
Gave me,
and where to
like
go
what
and all that
are-
kind of
yeah.
stuff. Okay, so let
a
me
lot of
double check
questions to
my person. I don't know. Yeah, I have scripture references from my people too, so you know that I'm not just all over the place on that. Here we go. Got my person. Okay, yeah, that's who it was. Okay, go ahead. 20 questions. I'll keep track of your questions as well. We'll go from there. That'll help you out. Okay.
Yep. All right. Is your person a male?
No. So right there, I gave him way more. Like I eliminated 90% of the scriptures pretty much there.
Your person have a baby?
Not that we know of. No. Not that was mentioned.
Okay. Did your this is probably a stupid question.
Nope,
Did
no.
your person like to cook?
Not that was mentioned.
Okay. That didn't help.
No, it
I don't know
didn't.
why I asked that question.
That was a weird question to ask.
It had a person in mind, but yeah, that kind of helped in a sense.
2 questions in, you're locking in on a person.
No, not really. It just,
All right, go
well, I
ahead.
mean,
I got you.
How many?
It's
never
tough.
mind.
It's tough. Go ahead.
Actually,
Do your
yeah.
thing. Do
Is
your thing.
your person, was your person a judge?
No.
Okay.
There goes Deborah.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
I was gonna say, that was a thing.
Lock
that
her
was
out.
a thing. Okay.
Man, it is so much easier on this side.
Yeah. But when you really, never mind. Let me not comment. I'm short. Was your person present at the death of Christ?
Could be possible.
Could be possible.
Could be possible.
Be possible that they're at the reservoir.
I guess it's true. The more I think about it, like the yes no, there's no like direct yes no because there's a lot of inferences.
Yeah, you got to kind of be kind of
have
specific
that.
on it.
You're 5 questions in. You're doing well.
5
Narrowing
questions
it down.
All right. Well, I mean, I know it's a female who wasn't a judge. Didn't really like to cook. Didn't really have a mentioned baby, which is significant.
We don't know if she liked to cook or not.
We don't really know if she liked to cook. She probably
looked up her
did,
Facebook
but
profile, but I don't think it shows up on
I
it.
didn't see any following any cooking pages.
I guess at that time it would
Food
be
Network.
MySpace or
Something like that, my rock. Let's see. So did your person kind of like travel with Jesus and the disciples?
probably not.
Okay.
Mary, Martha, bye-bye. They're off the list.
Was your person a deceiver?
Yes.
Was your person married to a king?
No.
Was your person married to a judge?
No.
Okay. Yikes.
Yikes.
Darn. That I felt like I was about to go on the right path.
I thought you were there. I thought you were there too. You were heading right there. Someone right now is on YouTube, like just flashing this, shouting this thing out.
Was your person extremely promiscuous?
Not that I know of. No.
Did your person have anger issues and like to like maybe go after people for
No.
their heads or anything? No.
For their heads.
Getting detailed here.
Oh my gosh, I'm running out of ideas.
Yeah, it's so much better on
Can't
this
ask
side.
that question. It's way better on that side. Even if you don't know your person, it's way like even
Right.
like to the T, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
I knew.
No,
To the T.
yours
What
was
that?
great because and the more I reflect back on it, I can't change any of my questions. There's really the only one was the battle question that maybe, but yeah, I mean all these things he really wasn't classified,
Right.
for this and that.
Was your person in the Garden of Eden?
Not mentioned.
Okay.
I would say probably not, but
Golly. Eden.
it's so hard. Just being on that end. This might be the only time we do this because I have no idea how this sounds coming
I don't know
across.
if I feel defeated.
Right? That's how now you're only
like
12,
I know
you're only
nothing
12
with 12
questions
in.
in. I'll start giving you some heavy hints when you get 3 more questions.
3 more questions
out there.
in. Okay. Let's see. Did your person have siblings?
Not that was mentioned.
Oh, nothing really much is mentioned about this person.
No, there's not much, but it's
Oh, that
significant.
makes it worse. But it's significant, which
Yeah.
should make it better, but it doesn't. All right, 2 more questions, and then I can like beg for help. Did your person speak Hebrew or Greek? Oh no, I don't allow that. That would be too close to Old and New Testament kind of question. I think.
Well, pick one. That's fine. You can ask that
Yeah?
language if you want to.
Okay, all
But it has to be
Oh, I have to pick one though.
Yeah.
Did you? Did your person speak Greek?
probably
Probably spoke Greek. Okay.
or Aramaic. Who knows?
Okay. There we go.
You know what I mean? Same.
me on the fence,
same
yeah.
diff. I know where you're going. I know what you meant.
Yeah.
So that's a good workaround on that question.
I
That
was thinking about
well played.
it. One more. Okay.
Well
one more.
played. Do they like old clothes or new clothes?
I'm very sneaky, sir. Oh, one more question. Okay.
Yeah, I already know the big hint I'm going to give you
I
because
can't wait for it.
Yeah.
Did your person get their feet washed by Jesus?
no, not that I know of.
Did your person touch Jesus?
No,
Okay.
that's the 16th question. I'm going to say you asked me a question within the last 5 or 6 questions that I thought you were on track.
I probably was.
You
be
were
honest
locked
with you.
in on it, and then you took a left-hand turn after one of those questions.
Left-hand turn.
Yeah, you took a really hard turn after the deceiver question.
Okay. That doesn't help. I know you had great
when you
intention
asked
there.
when you asked that question, I thought you knew who it was. That's how significant of deception was in this person's life.
Okay.
In the Greek or Aramaic times, as you may say.
Did they kind of like have this entanglement to money?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes. This is where the pressure comes in. You know it, but you don't know it right now. Oh,
no,
you're on it. You're on it. You're on it. You're on it. You're on it.
Is it Janice?
No, and that's a wrong guess. I'm taking that as a guess. That's 5 extra points.
Do I need to reverse?
Janice?
What was?
Where's Janice?
I'm probably saying the name wrong.
I'm telling you, it's nowhere.
Goodness.
What you said is nowhere near. Yeah, Janice.
Facebook
Someone,
in our
they're
church.
done. They're locked it out. Like I'm not. How can I go to the church of Janice?
Why
Is
did we play
Janice a
this game? This
Greek or
game is a
Hebrew
bad
name?
idea.
All right, you got 3 more questions. Did I count that one as a question? Is it Janice? Yeah. No, because you
counted
asked.
that. You counted it.
Yeah.
You definitely counted it. That's
No.
fair. That's only fair.
I'm trying to think because you had the 16th, then I give you a hint, then the 17th.
Yeah.
All right. It's not Janice.
It's not.
So weird.
How do you say? I'm just gonna say these names. Don't count it as a guess.
Okay,
I'm
I
just
got
trying
you.
to figure- Or you can.
You're trying to pronounce. I get you. If you're trying to
the
pronounce.
Janice and Jan Breeze. I'm probably saying the names wrong.
You're nowhere near.
Nowhere near.
Nowhere
That's
near.
crazy.
Nowhere near.
I feel.
She had a
Can we cut that part out of the
most. No, we can't. We don't edit like that as proof of our fly bit
Yeah,
last
right.
week.
That's true.
Like her husband played a significant role in the story too. You probably would know if you put the 2 together. It's more significant.
Man, I can't even think of the name. I think I know where it's at, but
Deceiver.
not where, but
Early church history.
yeah, yep,
Entanglement with money.
yes.
I could have sworn you had it.
Dude, I have
2
it.
more
I
questions.
just don't have
2
the
more
name.
questions.
What was the name?
Great question.
Oh, goodness gracious! I can't even think of the husband's name, like the guy's name.
Do you know the story?
I'm almost positive I do.
Okay.
Did they kind of like fall to the ground and die right there?
Yes.
Okay. I know who it is. I don't
You're
know
drawing
the
a
name.
blank on the name.
I
All right,
don't.
you're on it. You're on it. I'm going to take that. Like you're close enough. Ananias and
Sapphira.
Sapphira.
Darn it.
Sapphira.
Why did I think Janice?
I have no idea why you thought.
I did have a
Janice.
K2S song in my head that was kind of like
going through it, like singing through it.
like the
And then
talking about a specific
Ananias
story.
came in, and then she came in later, not knowing what happened to her husband. Did the same thing, and then she died.
That's yeah.
The
So
end.
I knew. I could not.
So when you looked at me and you said, was she a deceiver? I was like,
Yeah, and that's
got it.
that's
Nailed
that's
it.
sort of where I was, but I was also at like a maybe it was Jezebel,
so
that's where I went
threw
to
yourself back to the Old
I
Testament.
threw myself
real
back
quick.
to the Old Testament, which then kind of got into me to figure out how do I get, is it a New Testament or Old Testament
Gotcha.
person without asking
Gotcha.
that specific question.
Very good.
So
You
I'm
worked
Janus
your
and
way there.
Jambrees, I was way off with those. They were
Yeah.
the names given to magicians that were mentioned in the book of Exodus. So that was way
They're
off.
way
I don't know
off.
why that part of the song was in my head, and I'm
Wait,
like, oh,
is it
those are the
is
names.
it actually Janice?
It's probably pronounced
How do you spell
differently.
it?
Jannes, not like JNI.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Janice. I know a few
Janice
Janices, and I'm like,
Jambrees.
I never considered that to be a biblical name, but yeah, now that you mention it like that.
All right, yeah, nice.
So
And
this is not an easy game.
It's not, and
So-
yeah.
Here's the question, and we put this one on Mayor Rob. Do we do one more? Do we do one more just to see if it goes better?
If you can make it work in like 15 minutes.
15?
Maybe we do a speed round.
Are
Do
we
do
going that
like a
round?
speed round? That's
So
okay.
let's do this.
We can do that.
You have yours? Are you confident? So me and Mayor Rob will play together, and we will try to figure out what yours is, and this is how we'll end it off on that. So
Okay.
I barely beat you on this round. You had 24. I had 23.
Jeez, wow, that was actually
Both of us
closer
with
than I
some
thought it would be.
major hints.
Yeah.
So for some reason you asked if it was Janis Joplin. I said no. I don't know where that came into play on the whole thing. Okay, so you have your person.
Yeah.
Mayor Rob, are you with me on this? Your microphone's on. You're turned up. Make sure you talk into that thing.
I'm on.
Let's do this. Let's go 20 questions to Justin to try to figure out who his person is. We're not asking the old or new question thing. Here's the first question I'm going to ask. Is your person a woman?
No.
All right. So there we
Sorry.
go. We have now opened up the whole of the world. Do you have a solid question to follow up from there?
Does this man?
See? Right? It's not
Yeah.
it's not easy.
And then you blank.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
Was this man a judge?
No.
Okay. That eliminates that.
Go for another question.
Was this man a prophet?
No.
Was this man a king?
No.
All right. So now we're starting to narrow it down under those lists. And so help me if you say Moses again, I'm going to smack you. That would be so
terrible.
bad
Was
news.
this man an apostle?
No.
There we go. Okay. So, wow, we really knocked out, that knocks out a whole gamut of
That's
things.
a good question, Rob.
Did this man lead a country?
Not a country, no.
Okay. The world.
You did ask if he was a king.
Yeah.
That's kind of what that question was
I was going to
inferring.
ask if he led an army, but that's kind of
Yeah, I'd say no to that as well.
All right, we'll take that as a question. So we got that narrowed down there. Was this? Is this man considered a forefather of the Hebrew nation?
No.
did this man have?
The laughing after the question.
I knew you were thinking, let me just eliminate Moses.
Did this man?
Well, there's a few
And
forefathers.
Abraham,
There's a whole
yeah.
there's a whole clump of
Go
guys
over
there
right
that
there.
weren't necessarily
did he
prophets.
have brothers?
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay. Well, you can say like probably, but not
Probably,
mentioned.
but not mentioned. Yeah,
There you go.
we'll say that.
Okay. So yeah, right. It's
Yeah,
hard,
it's-
especially with this whole. Did this man walk with Jesus?
Didn't walk with Jesus. No.
Okay. I guess you asked that, didn't you? If he was apostle or disciple. Is there a book named after this man?
There is. Yes.
Did this man have a lot of stuff taken from him?
How was?
Stuff
We on that track too?
Not mentioned.
Okay.
No.
We got that one eliminated. Not a prophet. Book of the Bible.
I know where you're going with that.
Going through.
This is where we.
It is tough. It's hard.
It's very hard.
Like,
It's,
your mind's
I know.
going boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom.
It's bouncing all
While
over the
people at
place.
home
Everything's
probably
wrong.
are like, I got it
I
right
know. They're
now.
like, I know exactly who it is.
These people in our church. Sorry if we're
Just
disappointing you.
Something about being in the moment, even
Yeah.
while we're trying to go through these
Listen.
things. You can see Mayor Rob's head going
It's
in the
like
moment.
worse than on the spot.
Yeah.
It is so
100%.
because you don't want to get it wrong because the penalty is really high for getting it wrong.
Yeah.
And like you really want to try to narrow this thing down, and the more names you eliminate, the more names you start to focus on.
Yep.
Like I'm only thinking of prophets right now, and I'm trying to go through the list. I feel like we have the answer now.
What number? You said you're only thinking
We
of
have
prophets
12.
now. Didn't you ask that question?
Yeah, so we said no prophets, but my mind
Ah,
is
okay,
focused on
gotcha.
that. It's like when I'm playing Wordle and to go through and like I use one word, I can't get off that word all the way through or anything, or you start to pronounce it.
Yep.
like it differently.
Start making up your own
You
words.
start
That's
going through it,
brilliant.
and it just doesn't work out that way. That kind of focus. Were there any? Did this man have significant physical characteristics that were mentioned?
Man, you specified physical, so I'm going to say no.
Okay, gotcha. So the outside of that is I'm just working with Mayor Rob here. You don't exist here.
Yeah.
Didn't say physical, so there's some special spiritual element to it. Did this man? No, because you said there was.
I'm trying to think of what we have asked. I'm like, oh man.
Right. I'm trying to go through the books of the Bible in my head because he said it was written, but most of them were all prophets, judges.
I love being on this side.
It's so much better,
fun, but
isn't it,
it's
on
not.
that side?
It is, but it's fun, but it's not.
Oh,
Yeah,
man. Can I look up the books of the Bible?
Yeah, I mean,
'Cause
you
I'm-
can
I'm
ask
going
the question
through
that
it.
I so sneakily asked if you want. That might be a good help.
Was this man used by God?
Totally.
Yeah.
I know that helped you a lot.
I could have told
I'm
you
gonna be
yes.
honest with you.
What a waste of a
I just
question.
really-
He
yeah.
was totally in VBS.
You said, we already said he wasn't a leader of a nation.
Correct.
Man, my goodness.
Second.
We already figured out it's not it's not Job because we already asked that question. All right, here we go. Going through it. You can't look at me that way and say it's Job.
No.
Okay,
he's just
good.
messing with
I was
you.
gonna say, yeah.
No, it's
I'm
not.
messing with him. Smack.
I'm just,
Magnet hits it right off.
this
That
is
kind of look. I'm drawing a
pressure on you guys by
major,
looking at both of you.
major blank on this. Not a prophet. Did he have any interaction with animals?
Not that's mentioned. No,
Okay,
nothing
that one's
mentioned on
gone. We're at 15. 15 here.
that. Wow.
That animal one
Should I-
took out a whole lot.
Should I? Do you want a hint? I can give you the hint that I'm thinking in my head. That's probably obtaining to a question that I asked.
Okay, if it pertains to something that we asked, that's
Not
good.
something that you asked. No, something that I asked.
Oh, something that you asked.
that you haven't asked, and you've so probably strategically chose not to ask.
Gotcha. So should we ask the question like to figure out if it's a New Testament, Old Testament guy?
Without asking
Without
a
asking.
question.
Yeah.
Sneakily.
I'm asking you if we should take that.
I'm gonna say.
Okay. Did he write letters to the early churches?
He didn't specifically write letters to the early churches, no.
Okay. So that implies that he was of the time period where he could have wrote.
Oh, that's
the
a good
early
way of
churches.
asking it. Okay, I
Yeah.
like that.
Well, it's a good way of answering it too.
Yeah, you're welcome. Maybe. I don't know.
He said there's no significant siblings.
Right
So
now, I'm just trying to figure out how to ask you a question.
Yeah,
yeah.
no siblings.
We asked that. Well, not
I have one. I have two guesses.
right,
I'm
not
trying to
that we
think
know
through
of, correct?
Not that we know of what.
the sibling part. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, not that we know of. And again,
We can
we're
infer
talking
that
about
probably-
siblings specifying that like a brother or
Everyone
sister.
in the Bible, everyone in the Bible probably
Sure,
had
they
them,
probably do,
but they didn't mention.
that's
it.
not
So,
that.
so it's not
detail
John. It's
is
not James.
specifically mentioned.
It's not any of those kind of
As
things.
a hint.
What was that?
I don't know if we need a hint
You
because
don't need a hint?
I'm
I'm good then.
I'm coming down to it. Did he receive a letter from one of the guys? So we're looking at it's probably Titus or Philemon, one of those two.
That's the only two you came down to?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you saying it like that kind of really helps me out. Go through because all these
am I
others,
wrong on
there's
something
there's
there, Ansel?
significance to. I know, there's one more, but I so
What's your one more? How many
Jude.
questions? Yeah.
There's three.
no,
There's
yeah.
three people who received letters in the New Testament that were not directly connected to Christ, who would have been a significant sibling or would have been a disciple. So I'm just going by process of elimination. It's probably one of the, but that seems. I feel like you're probably more. I don't know how to separate those two through a question. Do you have a guess?
All we have on this guy is that he has received a letter.
He's received a letter from one of the disciples. So.
No, I'm not going to give you.
Or not
I'm gonna-
disciples,
I'm
but the
gonna
guy.
say
I
it.
know.
I got it. I want to just say
That's
this to you.
basically all we have.
It's
right
a
now,
hint.
right?
It's a hint, and I can give it to you. if
That was
you
a
want
big.
it.
Well, that's a big
I
hint.
mean, it is, but I'm saying that's what we have, right?
Yeah. So there's three guys that don't have a significant sibling, i.e., Jesus, or something like that. So it's not one of the guys that wrote the letters. So Peter, Paul are out.
How much would
John
it change
is
anything
out.
if he had siblings?
If he had a significant
now he's
sibling,
got a
it would
sibling.
make a huge difference.
Yeah, because I mean,
'Cause
like,
John-
again, specifying brother, sister,
James, a
that-
brother-
yeah, that I can't affirm. But there's definitely some family that is significant
Here
in
we
his
go.
life.
This is it.
This is the hint, but
The family
it's
comes
not
out.
it's not like a brother or sister is what I classify as sibling, not like extended family.
Yeah. Significant is what I said. So
Okay, so significant. There is not no brother or sister. I'll put it that way that I know of. But there's obviously everybody has significant family in their life.
we're talking about significant siblings. So I'm looking at these guys and knocking them out. Like,
No sibling brother or sister that is mentioned.
okay,
But there's family.
I get that. They all have family that's mentioned.
Father Abraham.
I'm just going through this list.
I'm just surprised that's your only
Either
guesses. I don't know. It just makes me feel like I might have said something wrong. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Me too. I think that's right.
You did.
So you're saying
Another hint?
here's the hint. It's not Titus, Philemon, or Jude.
Correct.
Okay, then I'm out. I really have no idea
Wow,
because
I
I
must
think
have
based
answered
on your
something wrong.
hints, it can't be. You might be thinking of Timothy, but Timothy received a letter from one of the guys that wrote to the churches.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and you
answered
said no.
One of that. Yeah.
No, you said no.
When you said if he received a letter, yeah.
From the churches.
Written by one of the guys.
You said
from
if
the
he wrote a
churches.
letter to the church.
Oh, then I threw that wrong.
He
So
didn't
he-
write a letter to a church, but he
No,
received
he
a
received
letter.
one. That's
He
what I
received
asked.
one.
He received. I thought you said no on that
He
one.
first asked
I'm gonna have to
if
watch that back.
he received, if he wrote a letter, and then asked if he received a letter from the apostles.
Yeah, from one of the guys. I was trying
Oh,
to.
yeah, my
no,
apologies. I
was trying-
didn't realize I answered wrong to that. I didn't even realize that was a question.
Was
I
that
just,
it?
I just know the writing question.
because that's where I was at. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
it was
so-
Timothy. It was
Okay,
yeah.
Timothy nailed
Timothy.
it. First try.
Wow, I can't wait till this episode drops. I just want to watch where I blanked out there.
We are the only ones. All right, let's get through this thing.
I literally
What
have
did
a headache
What did
right
you
now.
learn today? I do have a headache. This is too much thinking.
I learned that I can answer a question, not realize I answered that question. Like, I don't. Maybe I was just. I can't wait to watch this back.
I know we have to play
I need
it back.
to. I
I
need
really
to play
have
it
no
back
idea.
and see where
Someone-
I got lost. Maybe I don't know.
Someone out there screaming. I might have heard it wrong. I might have heard the answer
I might
before
have.
you
Yeah,
gave it.
I possibly. Yeah. I
My
don't
wife
know.
might say I do that every now and then. Mayor Rob, did you learn anything today?
All I got is that I learned that you can get donkeys at Bob Evans.
There you go, donkey.
Donkeys.
To be fair, they do have other animals there too. Only short stack just fit me, so he was my adopted donkey.
Adopted donkey. And
Okay.
I learned that everyone at the dealership got cool nicknames except for Justin.
But me.
That was it. End of story. All right, that's plenty. Listen,
All right, so
if you
I
like this game,
I accidentally hit my hand on the stop on the mouse.
Okay.
It was exactly on start recording, so I stopped it.
so we stopped recording there, but we're still recording in the air. We're still on the air. We'll wrap it
still
up
on
there.
the
Go ahead,
air,
hit start on that. So we'll finish it out. We'll be missing out on a little bit gap there.
That's all right.
That's fine. Listen, if you like the game, say you liked it. If you never want to
Yeah.
see it again, that's fine
Yeah,
because
that's fair. Give us feedback. 'Cause
give us some feedback.
We'll never
on
do it again if you say don't.
I feel
if
like
enough people say
just-
don't. Do
our
it.
brain is just spinning too much on this
Yeah,
one.
this was a
and
doozy.
it
I don't
was-
know.
It was hard. We may have to
I need to
narrow it
take a
down a
nap.
little bit more to some things.
Somehow, or just maybe I just get the answers completely right. I'm gonna go with
who knows?
I'm innocent until proven guilty, but
Have you ever heard the phrase "beating a dead horse"?
yep. Definitely.
I'm Sam.
I'm Justin.
That's it.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Making Light of It. Please connect with us on Instagram and Facebook. You can find the links in the description of this episode. We would love to hear from you. Please feel free to email us at makinglightofitpod@gmail.com. And remember to like, share, or subscribe so you'll be notified when the next podcast is uploaded. Thank you, and as always, God bless.